Alright, this is Total Extreme Wrestling 2020, CelJaded playing Monday, week 3 of February 2006 on the Shifting Sands mod. Another episode of Monday Night Raw here, and even though it is February in the game world, it is November in real life, which means if you hear any explosions on the recording, it is because my neighborhood is currently celebrating the 14 straight days of Bonfire Night, as they like to do every year. But nonetheless, it is John Cena here on Raw, opening things up hot as he always does, saying he and Mickie James kicked ass last week in that mixed tag team match where they defeated Edge and Lita, of course. But now, following that diversion, he wants Edge one-on-one for the WWE Championship, and he wants that match right here and right now. But of course, the Rated R Superstar is rarely in a giving mood unless he's giving crap on the mic, and that is exactly what Cena gets here, as Edge says victory in a tag team match doesn't count for a thing, and he claims Cena doesn't deserve a rematch. So Edge, of course, the paranoid champion, doing everything in his power to avoid facing Cena in a fair fight. But that brings out the CEO, Vince McMahon, who, despite following two red-hot segments there with two of his biggest stars, claims that he doesn't like these two men hijacking Raw every week. To a shower of booze, he says this, no doubt. And it is Vince here that says he's going to put a stop to this, and he's going to do it in the way that only Vince can do, in a fair way that is good for business. So this is it. John Cena will face Edge again for the WWE Championship, and the next time that he does, Lita will be barred from ringside. We must have a winner, and it must be, as always, in the interest of fairness, a match that's going to solve this issue between these two men once and for all. So Edge and Lita absolutely beside themselves here, pleading to Vince to change his mind. But there is a catch, because Vince says this match will not be happening tonight. And it will not be happening next week. It will be happening in 2 weeks. So, if you read between the lines here, which Edge is currently doing, that is 14 straight days that John Cena has to wait to get his hands on the Rated R Superstar, and 14 straight days that Edge has to come up with a plan. And you know, someone like him has probably got all sorts of things on his mind now to destabilize his challenger ahead of week 1 in March. So, huge announcement here. Edge, John Cena in 2 weeks, one-on-one for the title. Lita will not be a difference maker. Well, you know, that's the hint at least. So even though John Cena got what he wanted, he is going to have to wait, and the wait, you can bet, is going to be an agonizing one. But good stuff from all involved here, kicking off the show hot, as usual, as Raw rolls on. And as we do, we're going to leap into our first match here, because it is Ric Flair getting the win over Tyson Tomko in dominant fashion here with the figure 4 leg lock. Just a quick match to put a little bit of heat on our Intercontinental Champion, Ric Flair, even though this was a non-title match on this occasion. And after the match, it is Ric Flair cutting a very Ric Flair promo about the glory of being the Intercontinental Champion. And then we get a little cutaway here where we see Gregory Helms, the man who covets that championship, looking more and more annoyed as Ric Flair continues to big himself up. So the Nature Boy, he's no fool. He knows exactly who's going to be listening in the back to this promo, and he is taking an opportunity here to really get in Helms's head. Not that it really takes much, but anyway, Rick here with a grotesque overture, if you like, really selling what it means to be the Intercontinental Champion and getting under his potential challenger's skin. So, great stuff here from Flair. Gregory Helms, of course, still doesn't have his title shot. He has to prove himself to Flair first, Flair says. And we'll just have to wait to see what Helms has got in store on that line of thinking. But for now, we're going to move on to our next segment, where we have Shawn Michaels talking about his upcoming clash with Booker T in tonight's main event. So we featured Shawn Michaels and Booker T in the main event, one-on-one before, of course, and they certainly brought the magic that time, so we're hoping they can bring a little bit extra in our main event slot once again. But this is our big match-based feud for Monday Night Raw, where Shawn Michaels and Booker T really looking good as opponents here in this feud so far, and Shawn Michaels getting some quality promo time, and on this occasion, he's got one eye eye over his shoulder, looking behind him to make sure that Booker T isn't going to try another sneak attack like he did last time. So good stuff from Shawn Michaels here as we move on. And it is Shelton Benjamin now who returns to give an answer to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, of course, wrestled Shelton in a great match last week. And at the end of that match, said to Shelton, look, we were aligned, we were allied with each other once before in the past, years ago. You were part of Team Angle in a kind of a student-teacher relationship between these two men. But now, Benjamin has blossomed into an incredible performer in his own right, and Angle still recognizes the potential for greatness in Shelton and has extended the offer for them to team up once more. But this time, it will not be as student and as teacher. No, it will be as peers. It will be as tag team partners. It will be as two men on a mission to take the tag team division by storm and maybe pick up some championship gold along the way. So Shelton Benjamin here saying that yes, he will team with Kurt Angle for now. And Angle, that's all he needed to hear. And these two men immediately go into a huddle now and start laying out plans for their big tag team debut. So we're going all in on this one. There it is. Shelton Benjamin is now a babyface. He's using the All-American gimmick. We've freshened that up a little bit from the preening heel that he was before. Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin now, and hopefully not a chuck together team, but a solid unit here that we're going all in on to really try and bolster our tag team division with some meaningful talent. So look forward to see what these two guys have in store when we see them later on in the program. But for now, it is Armando Alejandro Estrada who has hit the ring, microphone in hand, alongside his client Umaga. And it is Estrada telling Mick Foley to watch what Umaga does to Balls Mahoney in their one-on-one match next. So Umaga, of course, has been targeting ECW talent in recent weeks at the behest of Estrada. And Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney recognize this. They debuted on WWE television last week by cornering Estrada, demanding a piece of Umaga. And yeah, so it's going to be Umaga taking on Balls Mahoney first in the first matchup between them coming up next. Or is it because Umaga, at the culmination of this promo, immediately gets double teamed by Balls and Axel, who hit the ring, steel chairs in hand. They batter Umaga senseless, and it is Estrada who has to pull his Samoan Savage out of there and kind of force him back, hold him back, and those two retreat as the babyfaces stand tall for once here. Umaga and Estrada here forced to flee as the match between Balls and Umaga never even gets started. So Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney playing dirty here, but they have finally proven that Umaga can be gotten to, and this is the kind of tactics, the guerrilla kind of tactics they're going to have to take advantage of if they want to do it. So great stuff from them, and here is Mick Foley, who appears at ringside, tags hands with Axel and with Balls as Estrada and Umaga seethe in retreat. So Estrada's man here really shown up, and finally, the ECW faithful have found a way to get to Umaga and prove that this man can feel fear. Maybe this man can be stopped. But like we said, they're just going to have to play dirty to make that happen. So Mick Foley, perhaps the mastermind behind this little plan. And finally, a ray of light shines through for the babyfaces here, for the ECW brand, if you like, as they have finally gotten one over on Umaga. So good stuff here from all involved, and looking forward to picking this one up next time to see what Estrada's response is going to be in the face of such impudence. But next we have Danny Basham making his first appearance on this save. First appearance and probably his last, I'm not going to lie. But it is Danny Basham anyway, taunting Jerry Lawler over his failure in the Royal Rumble. So very much a repeat of what we saw before with Rob Conway disrespecting Jerry Lawler. Now it's Danny Basham. And just like last time, Lawler slugs Basham down and immediately demands a match. So you can pretty much guess what's going to happen here. It's Jerry Lawler getting the quick win over Danny Basham with the pile driver there. So just a quick dominant win for Jerry to get himself a little bit of momentum back after the Royal Rumble, of course. But after the match, that's where our real story lies, because it is Jerry Lawler here calling out Vince on the mic once again, pleading with Vince, asking him, how many guys do I have to go through before you book me on that WrestleMania card? So, Vince, of course, has told Jerry, look, Jerry, you're too old to go to WrestleMania. You're not a bankable enough star. You haven't done anything that warrants being on that supercard. So Vince coming out with every kind of heel excuse in the book for why Jerry Lawler can't be on the WrestleMania show. But Jerry Lawler has had this in mind for a while now. He wants to go to WrestleMania, and he is going to do whatever he can in order to get there. But it would seem that there is a feud now developing between Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon here does not respond to Lawler's promo, does not respond to Lawler's plea and demand that Vince McMahon get out here. And once again, Jerry Lawler has said, look, Vince, I have not asked you for much over these years. I have given you everything in the latter stages of my career to make your brand the biggest, the most recognizable brand worldwide, and like the most dominant force in sports entertainment, all the cliches. I've done that for you, Vince. It's about time you paid me back and you put me on that WrestleMania card. But here, Vince doesn't even respond. He's big leaguing Lawler. He's freezing him out, ghosting him, call it what you will. But Jerry Lawler here looking very angry at the CEO of WWE, as this issue between them does not look like it's going away anytime soon. And speaking of issues that aren't going away anytime soon, it's Francine here, manager of Gregory Helms, having a private discussion with Ric Flair. So, how do you like that? A clandestine rendezvous between Ric Flair and Francine. What could they possibly be talking about? Well, it's a little bit different this time, because this segment does not have the kind of comedic undertones that previous segments featuring these two have had, because Francine here is kind of telling Ric Flair that what's happening between Francine and Helms is strictly business, because Ric Flair here has kind of approached Francine and he's laying his cards on the table to her. He's saying, baby, why are you managing Greg Helms when you could be managing the Nature Boy? Now, why? When I'm the Intercontinental Champion, I'm a legend in this business. Why would you choose to manage Greg Helms when the Nature Boy is standing right here, kind of making a bid for your services? And Francine, for her part in this, of course, is, let's just say she's come on, Rick. Helms is nice. Give him a break, will you? But it appears that Ric Flair is not willing to give Helms a title shot just yet. He still wants Helms to prove himself. So still playing mind games with the kid, and now meeting his manager privately backstage. So a little bit of intrigue here in the feud between Ric Flair and Gregory Helms, with Francine, of course, ever the catalyst for more and more drama. So great stuff from everyone involved in this one. And speaking of great stuff, here comes Trish Stratus. So last time we saw Trish, of course, on the previous episode of Raw, she was looking for a tag team partner to team with her on this very episode of Raw. Here we are on now. But Trish, she went to Jackie and begged for help, and Jackie turned her down. Very angry at Trish was Jacqueline. Turned her down, outright refused angrily. She did not want to team with Trish. Trish then goes to her own protege, Ashley, asking if she wanted to team up, and Ashley, upset with her as well, refuses Trish. So Trish, unfortunately, due to various slights that she has inadvertently kind of inflicted on these two kind of women in her life, her friend and her protege, could not find a tag team partner last week. But it was at the end of that episode of Raw that Trish Stratus saw Mickie James in the ring with John Cena in that mixed tag team match. And in a little bit of a desperate state now, because the match is rapidly approaching, Trish needs a partner. So she is seeking out the one woman she never thought she would seek out, her obsessive fan, Mickie James, the woman that she demanded space from, the woman that she needed a break from. There is no other choice now. Trish Stratus is going to have to open herself up to Mickie James once again by offering her the team up she offered Jacqueline and Ashley. So this is it. So Trish comes to Mickie and she has to admit, you know what, Mickie, you did a great job in that mixed tag team match last week, and Even though it might be against her better judgment, Trish offers Mickie to team up. And Mickie, you can imagine being asked to be a tag team with her idol, very, very happily accepts this offer of Trish's, and this is it. Trish Stratus and Mickie James will be a tag team here tonight, and that match is coming up very soon in the program. And Trish Stratus has found herself a tag team partner at last. What could possibly go wrong, eh? So next, it is Kurt Angle who meets Shelton Benjamin in the locker room again after a short absence there, and it is Kurt saying to Benjamin that step one in their plan is complete, because they now have a match. So Kurt Angle has gone away. He's cashed in a few favours. He's used up the last bit of influence he has left here to get them both a debut match on Raw tonight, and it is coming up next. So huge match ahead for Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin debuting as a tag team. Let's see how it goes. Alright, good stuff here. So in a decent match, it is the All-Americans, what we're calling them, who defeat Cade and Murdoch in a convincing fashion here, with Kurt Angle putting in a hell of a performance as usual in the ring. But a great segment rating for this one, exactly what we wanted, a real strong debut for these two men. And yeah, even though they were in the ring there with not the hottest act, if you will, they have definitely put in a great performance, and this is exactly what we needed to see from our tag team division, these kind of climbing segment ratings. So great stuff. But a few story details here. So Shelton Benjamin, of course, comes out with Kurt Angle and looks at the Titantron. Maybe there's a little bit of remixed music there. He can see the All-Americans name proudly on the screen. Kurt Angle seems to be wearing matching gear with Shelton all of a sudden. And yeah, from Shelton's point of view here, it looks like Kurt Angle's been thinking about this for a long time, and maybe has been had something in the works for longer than he was letting on. So Shelton Benjamin kind of impressed with this, as the All-Americans looking equally impressive in their debut match here on Raw together. So great stuff from Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin, and it is, after the match, Angle bumping fists with Benjamin here as the two kind of walk up the rampway looking dominant together. So yeah, what can you say about this? Real great stuff here from Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin, exactly what we needed to reignite our tag team division. And yeah, keep your eyes on these two. Very much looking forward to where they go next on Monday Night Raw, so tune into the next episode to find out. And then we've got Triple H and CM Punk here hanging out backstage and just having a chat. So a nice little innocent segment here, but very much a follow-on for what we've seen in recent weeks with Triple H and CM Punk. Coming together here, and Triple H kind of sharing some advice with the youngster Punk at this stage in his career, and now just a little bit of a follow-up here in this segment where Triple H and CM Punk are kind of shown hanging out together and sharing words. So yeah, what could possibly be in store for these two? Again, you'll have to stay tuned to find out. But next, we are cutting to a very quick segment here with Trish Stratus and a very excited Mickie James, who walked to the ring for their tag team match. So this is it. Trish Stratus was desperate for a partner with no one else to turn to. She turned to Mickie James, who accepted her offer, and this is it. So Trish Stratus and Mickie James in tag team action here tonight. And there you are, a fairly decent match as well. So it is Mickie James and Trish Stratus here getting the win, although it's a win by disqualification. We'll come back to that in just a second. But yeah, for the match itself, we do of course have the usual penalty for involving a babyface heel kind of combo, and of course our other women in there kind of lacking a little bit of experience, which will hurt the segment rating, but no matter. The storyline here quite clear. Trish Stratus and Mickie James are kind of on the same page here as a tag team. But the bigger story is after the match, because it is Trish Stratus here getting angry at the DQ finish, and the reason for that was Jacqueline, who interfered. So Jacqueline clearly not ready to forgive Trish over those transgressions that kind of Jacqueline has kind of perceived recently that Trish has kind of inflicted on her. And Trish now, after getting her match thrown out here in a DQ decision, is angry. So Trish has just lost it now. Of course, she's been pushed to the limits. Her patience has been pushed to the limits in recent weeks, and she just lets it out on Jacqueline. And the two are arguing in the ring here, former friends going at it. So Mickie James now has to come between the two women and try to separate them and keep the peace. And it is during that Trish accidentally shoves Mickie, and Mickie goes down hard, and she comes up clutching her arm there, apparently having injured herself on that little tumble. So Mickie James really milking this one as she comes up holding her arm, looking all hurt after what Trish has just done. And Trish, of course, realizes that she's just she's made another mistake. She's hurt her. Yet another woman is going to be angry at her because of this, is the perception anyway. And we'll just have to stick with this one. There's a little bit more to come later in the program, so hold that thought for now, because we are now going to go to a promo with Booker T, and it's a bitter one that he cuts on Shawn Michaels ahead of their upcoming match. So the main event slot, of course, very rapidly approaching here with Booker T and Shawn Michaels one-on-one. And this is just the receipt that Shawn Michaels gets for his promo earlier in the show. Is Booker T here, who wants to be the show stealer. He wants to be the guy everybody talks about, and he's going to do it at Shawn Michaels' expense. Or at least he would do if he could actually get a solid win over the guy and a solid kind of lead against him as well. So that's what this match tonight is all about, Booker T and Shawn Michaels. It will be coming up soon. But we've got a few more notes to hit before Monday Night Raw is finished. And our next one is Francine and Gregory Helms now having a private talk of their own, of course, about none other than the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And it is Gregory Helms here going full heel, whining, complaining that he's not getting his title shot that he asked for, acting really hard done by. And of course Francine, who's always got a soft spot for our boy Helms, acting all motherly here to him and saying, there's no need to worry, just be patient and good things come to those who wait, and all the usual kind of platitudes there, and just to really sink in just how much of a baby that Greg Helms is being in here. Good cheap heel heat from him, no doubt, and I love to see it. So good stuff here from Francine and Helms, and looking forward to seeing them next time on Raw when we rejoin this story. But the other story we need to rejoin, of course, is Trish Stratus and Mickie James, who we just saw in action there. And it is Mickie James now milking this apparent injury for all she's worth. She's in the trainer's room getting taped up, and Trish here comes in apologetic as can be after apparently having injured Mickie James in that impromptu melee earlier. And Trish just telling Mickie now, just bearing her soul a little bit, saying, Trish, she just says she hasn't been herself recently. Everything just seems to be going wrong for her. Everybody's mad at her, and she just got frustrated there, and she didn't mean to take it out on Mickie. And if there's anything she can do to show that she's sorry, she's here for Mickie. So Mickie here, like we said, kind of milking that injury perhaps a little bit. Even if it was an injury, but nonetheless, it is Mickie James saying to Trish, you don't have to worry, Trish. I know that you didn't mean to hurt me. It was just an accident. Don't worry about it. But what you should do is you should teach Jackie and Ashley a lesson, because you're the top girl around here, Trish, and you can't have girls like Jackie and Ashley interfering in your matches and kind of refusing to be your tag partner. You need to get this division under control, and you need to teach them a lesson. And I suggest we do that together next week as a tag team. What do you say? And Trish Stratus, of course, taken a little bit aback by this and doesn't quite know how to respond. And Mickie James and Trish kind of trying to get out of this. And Mickie James saying, well, you did say you wanted to make it up to me, didn't you? For shoving me down earlier. And Trish, of course, really taken aback by this. She did say that, in fact. So, great, says Mickie. Then it's settled. Jackie and Ashley will face us next week in a tag team match. So, whether Trish likes it or not, it looks like Mickie James has got them a booking. So it might be, if Mickie has her way, Trish and Mickie teaming again, but this time against Jackie and Ashley, of course, where the issue would be a lot more personal. So, intriguing stuff, as usual. Can't wait to pick up this one next week. Make sure you don't miss it when we see Trish Stratus and Mickie James in tag team action once again. And speaking of action, here is the Rated R Superstar, as he launches a sneak attack on John Cena in the backstage area with Lita's help. They beat down Cena and leave him laying. So, ouch. John Cena has just been destroyed by the WWE Champion Edge. So, Edge, of course, he had the leeway, he had the time to make preparations, and it didn't take him long to come up with something, because a backstage assault here on Cena has left Cena in a very precarious state going into their tag team match in 2 weeks. Cena here kind of battered, left laying, maybe weapons were involved, we're not sure, but yeah, this was a bad segment for John Cena. If you were John Cena, you wouldn't want any part of this one, because Cena has been taken out, and things don't look good for him. And how will he respond if he even gets a chance next week? We will just have to wait and see on that one. And then we are now rapidly approaching our main event between Shawn Michaels and Booker T. And we get here dual shots of them as they head to the ring for their match. Booker T with Sharmell at his side, and Shawn Michaels now ready to take on the man who would replace him in Booker T. So, a big main event match, Booker T and Shawn Michaels, who is finally going to pull ahead in this feud and get themselves the win? Well, it appears the answer to that question is nobody. Because in a bout that had fantastic heat and great wrestling, it is Booker T and Shawn Michaels wrestling to a time limit draw. Can you believe it? Both guys so evenly matched. As we can see, all the bonuses there for a great match as well and a high segment rating. Neither man could get the win on this occasion. Neither man could pull ahead, and it seems that Shawn Michaels and Booker T just can't seem to get one over the other in this feud. So there it is. Booker T and Shawn Michaels in an incredible match, but tearing the heart out of the fans. There is not going to be a decision on this occasion because we are desperately out of time. And as WWE Monday Night Raw is about to go off the air, it is Booker T and Shawn Michaels grabbing microphones pretty much at the same time here, and they start trading shots with the time they've got left at each other. So no, not only did we get pre-match kind of segments involving both of them strutting their stuff, not only did we get an incredible match to main event Raw, we've also got a promo battle as well, where both guys are going at it on the mic and trading shots at each other. But eventually they managed to agree on one point, and that is that they are going to have to face each other again if they want to settle this issue between them. So after all that, Booker T and Shawn Michaels look like they're only just getting started here in a feud that hopefully, in terms of matches anyway, keep on giving. So great stuff from both guys as we finish up the show, and another strong rating for another strong episode of Monday Night Raw. So love to see it. So there you have it, folks. That is another episode of Raw. Another high rating, exactly where we want it, and storylines definitely coming together now as we edge ever closer to the month of March. So that was CelJaded playing Monday, week 3 of February 2006 on the Shifting Sands mod. My name has been Alex. Have a happy bonfire night. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you tune in next time, where we will be running the next show of SmackDown for week 3 of February 2006. Hope to see you there. Have fun.